Thanks for sending in those pictures. Now to Abuja, where Yemisi Ikpaya is standing by with more on the news at 10. Hi, Yemisi.
Thank you, Emirachi. Welcome to Abuja. Nigeria is planning adequate investment in technology to enable rapid detection of improvised explosive devices. According to the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Omonaya Onu, the proposed technology is guaranteed to aid security across the country. He, however, told a news conference in Abuja that the government would not disclose in detail efforts being made in this regard. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezoki, reports.
Coordinated attacks by suicide bombers in villages and markets in the troubled northeast, which clearly bears the hallmark of the Boko Haram sect, has become the latest strategy, killing hundreds of people. In fresh reinforcements by the federal government to quash the terrorist group, the Minister of Science and Technology has announced plans to employ new technology to tackle the group.
You know, in terms of making sure that all these IEDs, that you can detect them before they can pose a problem. The ministry is, working in such areas, but the other areas I don't want to discuss now. You see, we have very intelligent people in Nigeria. You can imagine what our nation can become if only we think more of our country.
After a meeting with the chairman of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, the minister underscored the need to develop rapidly through research and local productions.
By just 20% use of cassava, that as many as 3 million jobs can be created. So this will be the trust of the ministry. We want to make sure that technologies we already have, we domesticate it and ensure that many Nigerians benefit from it.
For having a plan and working that plan, monitoring it, evaluating it, course correcting it as you go along is the most important fundamental thing any policymaker at the federal level ought to be looking at.
These collaborations with private sector are parts of efforts to tackle numerous challenges facing the nation. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arrested the spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Olisa Metuh. A statement issued by the Special Assistant to Mr. Metuh states that he was arrested at his home by 4 officials of the anti-graft agency this morning and taken away in an unmarked white bus. The statement says the officials told Mr. Metuh that he was being invited on a friendly note to answer questions at the agency's headquarters in Abuja. A party official told Channels Television that efforts by Mr. Metuh's aides and lawyers to reach him since he was taken away have failed. The anti-graft agency is yet to make public the reasons for inviting the spokesman of the opposition party. Meanwhile, several days ago, Mr. Metuh released statements alleging threats made against him because of what he said were his efforts at criticizing the ruling party and the actions of government. In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party has condemned the arrest of its national spokesperson, Chief Olisa Metuh. The party, in a statement by its National Secretary, Professor Wale Olidapo, maintains that the arrest of his Mr. Metuh is part of a larger script by the federal government to ensure that the PDP's wings are finally clipped. Professor Oladipo adds that the effort is part of a mission of the APC-led government to install a dictatorial one-party state in the country. The party, however, says it's not surprised by Mr. Metuh's arrest because, according to them, it came after a series of threats on their party's spokesperson. A federal high court has asked the Inspector General of Police to supervise the stay of the former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Haliru Bello, at the Abuja clinics, pending the determination of his bail application, which has been fixed for the 7th of January 2016. The order followed the plea by his counsel and evidence in court that the accused person came from the Abuja clinics to take his plea. The trial judge, however, ordered that his co-accused and son, Bello Mohammed, be remanded in Kuje prisons pending the determination of his bail application. The former PDP chairman, his son and their company, BAM Ventures, pleaded not guilty to a 4-count charge of money laundering brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Mr. Bello, who arrived in an ambulance and was wheeled into the courtroom alongside his son, are accused of receiving the sum of 300 million naira from the immediate past National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, for political campaigns.
A week after his trial was stalled at the Federal High Court in Abuja, the former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Haliru Bello, arrived at the court in an ambulance, after which he was carried into the courtroom in a wheelchair. Dr. Bello is facing charges of corruption along with his son Ahmed Bello Mohammed and their company BAM Ventures. The prosecution alleges that the accused persons received the sum of 300 million naira from the office of the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, under the guise of funding a safe house project, but the money was used for political campaigns, which amounts to a criminal breach of trust. The two accused persons pleaded not guilty to the charges. The prosecutor, Aliyu Yusuf, opposed the accused persons' application for bail on the grounds that they might jump bail and interfere with investigations by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
Under our laws, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, and the provisions of other extant laws, the third defendant, Dr. Bello, is entitled to bail. And the prosecution has not placed any material or sufficient material before the court to suggest otherwise. The application has been moved, it has been adjourned for ruling. We will keep our fingers crossed and await the decision of the court on the bail application.
Justice Ahmed Mohammed has adjourned ruling in the bail application to the 7th of January 2016. He directed the Inspector General of Police to supervise the treatment of the former PDP chairman at the Abuja clinics and remanded his son at the Kuje prison pending the determination of their bail application. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has warned that the current dry, windy and dusty atmosphere may easily ignite fires, so Nigerians should avoid activities that may lead to fire outbreak. In the latest report of NIMET, dust haze may prevail in the northern states, causing poor visibility in Kano, Sokoto, Katsina and Maiduguri. Also in the southern states, the dust haze is expected to hit Lagos, Port Harcourt, Calabar and Owerri, among other states. Only yesterday there were fire incidents in Mafoluku, Lagos, in Yola and Anambra State. And to look further into NIMET's recent warning, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by the General Manager on Climate Services at the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, Mr. Joseph Alozie. Thank you, Mr. Alozie, for joining us on News at 10.
It's my pleasure.
To start our discussion, the latest report of the agency shows that the atmosphere is very dry, and according to NIMET, this can ignite fires. Can you expand on this?
You know, during this period of the year, beginning with the end of the rainy season around November, we enter into the dry season. And dry season is a period, as the name goes, that brings in a lot of dryness all over the place. Now, the weather in Nigeria during this period, from particularly late November leading into February this year, is such that there is a lot of moisture loss on the surface because of the wind. We're having a lot of wind, you know, blowing from the Sahara Desert, bringing in a lot of dust into the atmosphere, and this dust is being carried into the country, and this dust impairs visibility. Now, from our readings, the relative humidity, which gives an idea of how much moisture there is in the atmosphere, is very low. Indeed, in these places you called earlier, The range is between visibility is so poor. Every airport has what we call visibility minima. Once that minima, let's say it's about, it shouldn't be 700 meters. If the visibility, if the NIMET reading of visibility is less than 700 meters for a particular place, maybe Kano or Kaduna, the pilot shouldn't go. He shouldn't even take off at all because it's very dangerous, except if the airport is well equipped, you know, with the modern equipment that needs to guide its landing.
And how long should we be looking for this to last for?
We are expecting that the first rains should come around the first week of February or thereabout in the coastal area of the country, but then gradually moves up north. In the far north, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, we don't expect the rains until around early June.
So still a little time. Thank you so much for coming in to News at 10, Mr. Alozie.
It's my pleasure.
And now back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, EMSC. And when the News at 10 returns, major political parties in the Bayelsa State rerun election trade words ahead of Saturday's polls. We'll have more in business news. Please join us again.